I wonder how many people know what the numbers mean on the highway. Here's the interstate highway systems numbers. The numbers on the highway mean something. Even numbers, with ending in an even number, will be going east and west. Ending in an odd number goes north and south. Then the BL and BS business loop it's a business that goes around, a business spur, it comes off of another highway. The 3-digit, if it begins in an even number, it goes around a city or major metropolis. If it begins in an odd number, it goes into a city or a major metropolis, or spur off of a city or major metropolis. In Maryland, we got 795. It actually comes from Reisterstown, and goes into Baltimore County. That's a spur. So does 395, comes off of 95, it goes into Baltimore City. 695 goes around, so that's just an example. So that's what the interstate highway numbers mean. The interstate highway numbers mean different things. So if you're on Highway 68, you'll be going east and west. Now, after the highway may turn a little bit and go north or go south a little bit, but actually it goes, it's going to end up going east and west. That's the way it goes. Mile markers next. The mile markers on the interstate highway, the lower miles start in the western portion of the state and go to the eastern portion of the state. Let's say for instance, let's take Colorado right there. Okay, I-70 on the western end of I-70, which is here, it would start at mile marker 1 or 0. And on the eastern end, they go up depending on how many miles are in that particular state on that highway. That's how that works. Some states' exit numbers coincide with the mile marker. That's what make me say I'm exit 3, but you won't see another exit to exit 5. And some states, such as New York, the mile markers do not coincide with the exit numbers. Or case of the New Jersey Turnpike. There are probably other ones that I don't know of, but the mile markers are the same. That means the miles that you travel. Now, if you're going north to south in a state, they start over. The mile markers start over at each state. Like if you want Interstate 40 and you start off in Tennessee, around the Memphis area, it's mile marker 1. When you get all the way over to getting ready to get into North Carolina, now Interstate 40 and I-81 run the same. So you'll be going I-81 north and Interstate 40 east at the same time. But then they break off again. So does 40 and 85. They do the same thing. But when you get over here toward North Carolina, whatever the mile marker is on Interstate 40, however many miles in Tennessee Interstate 40 is, so it starts all over again when you get into North Carolina. So if you're running through a state on an interstate and you get the mile marker 265, the next thing you know you're at mile marker 6 on the same interstate. You actually cross the state line if you don't know it. North to south is the same way. The lower numbers start at the bottom of a state. Each state is start all over again. Florida starts in mile marker 1 all the way up to whatever the mile marker is in up by Jacksonville when it crosses into Georgia. Georgia, the same thing. Up South Carolina. South Carolina starts at 1. It goes up to like 190, 189, something like that. North Carolina, 180 starts at 1 and go to like 185. Virginia, I know starts at 1, go to 174. Maryland starts at mile marker 1, goes to 109, so forth and so on. I've been looking at maps since 1984. Before we had GPS out here, on this, what you call Boulevard. This is a 2016 Atlas. It's kind of old. I'm going to be getting a new one soon. But, you know, with the GPS and the Rand McNally together, in a place I've never been, I look at the road map first before I use my GPS, whether it be using Waze or Google Maps or anything. I always use my map first if it's a place I've never been. When I take my motorcycle trip, long trips, I always carry a map with me. Because sometimes the GPS won't give you the whole big picture. It'll just give you the route where you are. You may want to go somewhere different. So it's a good thing to have a little knowledge on how to read maps and what the highways mean and where the interstate highway came from. I don't know if you know that when the interstate highways were first built, it's supposed to be 1 mile of straight road for every 5 miles of highway. I don't think that's true anymore, but Eisenhower designed it that way so if we had to fight a war on our home turf, you could land planes and stuff like that. That's what it's for. So, but interstate highway system is pretty good. The infrastructure probably, needs to be revamped. But that's how they work. Hope people on these motorcycles get out here and look at it and see how they work. Oh, I have the Rand McNally GPS because it coincides with the Rand McNally Atlas. So if you look on the Atlas and look on the GPS, it'll tell you whatever the I gotta get into it, but it'll tell you whatever is on the map. You can look for it, find it on the GPS. It always coincides. All right, thanks. Hope this helps somebody out. People traveling on a motorcycle might not know where they're going or which direction they're heading. Looking at or your GPS stop working, or you're in a bad area and don't get any phone signal. You know what I'm saying? So if the mile marker numbers, those are the green numbers on the side of the road. When I get rolling, I'll show you what it looks like. Those are the green signs on the side of the road, usually found on the right, sometimes they're on the left. It may say 13 with a dot or line 6. That means you're at the 13 mile marker over 6, 13 and 6/10. That's how that works. All right, if the mile markers are going up and you're on a interstate highway, if it ends in an odd number, like 81, and the mile markers are going up, like 13.3, 13.4, 13.5, and so forth and so on, then you're going north. If you're on an interstate highway and the 2-digit interstate highway and the second number is even, that means you're going east or west. If the mile markers are going down, you're going west. If you start off at mile marker 100, then it'll say 99 over 9, 99 over 8, so forth and so on to 98. That means you're going west. If they're going up, you're going east. They start lower west and go up. Exit numbers, a lot of places coincide with the mile marker. Exit 15 is right around mile marker 15. It could be between 14 and 15, between 15 and 16. And then the next exit may not be exit 16, maybe exit 19, because it may be 3 miles away. That's how that works. This is my daytime office. The Jade is home in the shed right now, but there's another driver company I work for. My truck's a little bit bigger. As you can see, I got a bed because I stay in 3 to 4 days a week. Then I get on my 2-wheeler. So that's what it is. Thank you. Oh, wait a minute. Traveling tall. Oh man, I did it wrong. Hold on.